Welcome to our channel, The Thinking Cosmos. Right now, I'm standing on a land that holds one of the deepest secrets of human history. A place older than pyramids of Egypt, older than the great walls of Babylon, older than most civilization we ever read about in textbooks. Yes, this is Harappa, once a thriving, bustling, intelligent megacity of the Indus Valley Civilization. As I walk through its silent ruins, I feel something powerful, something ancient. A sense that is, this place was not an ordinary. These bricks, these foundations, they are fingerprints of world that existed long before we could even imagine what civilization meant. In this expanded journey, we will uncover the hidden genuines of Harappans, their architecture, their city planning, their daily life, their rituals, their art, economy, and the great mystery of how a civilization so advanced simply faded away. This is more than history. This is rediscovery of who we truly were thousands of years ago. As I explore these ancient pathways, every step feels like stepping backward in time. The breeze here carries the dust of millennia. The sun illuminates structures that once sheltered families, traders, leaders, and artisans. Harappa was not just a city. It was a blueprint of urban life, created at a time when the most of the world still struggled to build simple villages. What I am about to show you is not just archaeology. It is the story of early human brilliance. The birth of an urban giant. Imagine a world around 2600 BCE. There were no empires, no global networks, no advanced machinery. Yet, along the banks of the mighty Indus River rose a civilization so vast and so organized that if it stretched across 1 million square kilometers. Harappa was one of the central powers of this civilization, a cosmopolitan hub where people crafted jewelry, traders, cotton, baked pottery, and developed systems that would inspire urban planning for centuries to come. What made Harappa special was its standardization. Every brick was the same size. Every street followed a precise grid. Everything from drainage to warehouses was built with a vision of order and harmony. This was not a chaotic world. This was a world designed with intelligence. Walking through the city of Harappa. As I walk deeper into the ruins, the city begins to unfold like a chapter of forgotten book. To my left, there are remains of multi-room houses, some with their inner courtyards with some private wells, and some with workshops attached to their walls. These were not huts, these were proper homes with ventilated rooms, bathing areas, and designated spaces for cooking. Straight ahead, the outlines of granaries appear, massive storage complexes that held grains of the entire city. This shows an organized government, a leadership that understood agriculture, supply chains, and food security. And to my right, the narrow, perfectly straight streets, aligned to catch the wind of natural cooling, laid out in grids like a modern city. No randomness, only planning. Standing here, I can almost imagine the people walking these streets. Traders carrying goods, children laughing, craftsmen working on beads, farmers bringing harvest from the field. Harappa was alive, and its heartbeat was the intelligence of its people. One of the most astonishing things about Harappa is its engineering. Every house, regardless of status, had access to fresh water. Some had private wells, some shared community wells. The city drainage system was so advanced that experts today say it is surpassed many modern cities until the 19th century. Look at these underground drains, covered with stone slabs, connected to every home, flowing into larger channels along the streets. These are not just ruins, they are proof that the Harappans understood public hygiene and civil engineering thousands of years ago, before others. And here is what even more impressive. There is no sign of king or wealthy elites dominating others. No places, no temples, no status of rulers, no religious sites. This was likely a merit-based society where order and cleanliness were valued by everyone. Art, craft, and culture. As I look closely at the artifacts discovered here, I see the soul of Harappa, the seals, tiny squares of steelite stone carved with animals, patterns, and symbols. The most famous figure is the unicorn, a mysterious creature appearing on hundreds of seals. Each seal was like signature, a stamp of identity, and each carries symbols of script we still cannot read. Pottery with red slip designs, terracotta toys, miniature carts, whistles, animals, showing that children in Harappa appeared just like children today. Jewelry of beads, shells, lapis lazuli, and carnelian stones, some imported from thousands of kilometers away. Even their tools, copper knives, shirt blades, weights of measures, all standardized, precise, and beautifully crafted. Harappa was a civilization that loved beauty, order, and creativity. The people and their way of life. Who were the Harappans? Archaeology gives us glimpses. They were farmers, merchants, artisans, potters, bead makers, metal workers, sailors, priests, and traders. Their economy thrived on cotton, perhaps the earliest cotton production in the world. They traded with Mesopotamia by sea, sending beads, jewelry, and possibly grain. Their diet included wheat, barley, dates, sesame, fish, and dairy. Their tools show evidence of advanced agriculture. Some houses even had underground storage rooms. Every discovery points to a society built not on war and power, but on work, community, and innovation. They lived in harmony with nature and with each other. The great unsolved script. One of the greatest puzzles in human history lives here, the Indus script. Over 4,000 pieces of this script have been found on seals, pottery, copper tablets, and tools. Yet not a single symbol has been decoded or deciphered. Why? Because there is no Rosetta Stone, no bilingual text, no long inscriptions. Just short, mysterious sequences of animals, symbols, lines, circles, tridents, and geometric shapes. Some believe it was a logo-based system, some think it was a Proto-Dravidian, some think it was a memory aid for a trade. But whatever it was, it holds the answer to who those people truly were, what they believed, how they governed, and why their civilization ended. The script remains silent and the mystery continues. As I walk around these walls, I try to imagine Harappa at its peak. Children playing with clay toys, merchants calling out prices near the market, farmers arriving with carts full of grains and cotton, artisans carving seals under shaded courtyards, women carrying water pots from the community wells, musicians playing ancient instruments during festivals. This was a city full of life, movement, and culture. There must have been festivals, rituals, community gatherings. The famous dancing girl statue found in the Indus Valley tells us that music and dance were part of their identity. Harappa was not just a place to live, it was a place where life was celebrated. And then a mystery unfolded: the fall of Harappa. Around 1900 BCE, the civilization began to decline. Theories suggest massive climate shifts, monsoons weakened, rivers dried, agriculture collapsed. Some rivers changed their course, especially the Hakra, believed to be the ancient Saraswati. Others believe floods destroyed cities, or traders' routes broke, or people slowly migrated eastward in search of water. What's certain is this: Harappa did not fall suddenly. There was no war, no invasion, no dramatic collapse. It faded gradually, like a candle that burns slower and slower until the flame disappears. Legacy of Lost World. Today, Harappa stands in quiet solitude, but its legacy is enormous. The Harappa gave us urban planning, sanitation systems, standardized measurement, trade networks, agriculture techniques, artistic traditions. Their influence lives in the soil of South Asia, in its culture, its cities, and its ancient memories. Standing here among these timeless bricks, I feel humbly by a civilization that builds greatness without kings, without armies, without religion, without moments of ego. They built a world-class world based on harmony, intelligence, and community. And that may be the greatest achievement of all. As I stand here among the wind-swept ruins of Harappa, surrounded by the last surviving fingerprints of civilization of thousands of years old, I can't help but feel a profound sense of awe. Because the true legacy of Harappa is not just in these bricks, it's in us, in humanity, in the system we still use today, systems first imagined by the minds that lived here. The legacy of Indus Valley Civilization is vast, quiet, and woven into the foundation of modern life. Look around you, every modern city with state roads, organized blocks, drainage system, and zoning laws, these ideas were born here. Long before Rome, long before Greece, long before the great kingdoms of Asia or Europe, Harappa had already mastered urban planning. This civilization understood something we often forgot today. A great society isn't built by monuments to rulers, built by creating comfort, dignity, and equality for ordinary people. The Harappans designed homes so every family could live with stability. They designed drainage systems so streets stayed clean. They built granaries so food could be stored and shared. Their legacy was not one of conquest but of cooperation, no war but of wisdom, not of kings but of communities. And yet, Harappa survived for over 700 years, longer than many kingdoms that rose and fell through force. Their strength came not from armies but from organization, innovation, and unity. The Indus script, still undeciphered, is like a whisper from the past, telling us, you still have more to learn. Our story is not just finished. As I look across these ruins, I imagine the families that once lived here, cooking meals, weaving cotton, carving seals, drawing water from wells. These ordinary moments, the moments that never make it into history books, were the heartbeat of Harappa. Harappa may have fallen into dust, but its spirit did not vanish. It lives on in every system we take for granted today. It lives on in every archaeologist trying to piece together its story. And it lives on in every traveler who stands where I stand now, feeling the weight of time and the greatness of a people we are only beginning to understand. This is the legacy of lost word, a word that may be gone but will never be forgotten. Thank you for joining me on this journey through Harappa, a place that reminds us how advanced humanity truly was, even thousands of years ago. If you enjoyed this documentary, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and let me know which ancient civilization you want to explore next. Until then, signing off from the silent stones of Harappa, where history still breathes.